Some other ones I thought of, chat. I would have another character. Her name would be Belnura Ironthick. And she would be a female dwarf barbarian. I feel like I want to do that. I want to be a dwarf character. I want to be just like wielding a fucking, battle axe and shit, going in there and just messing up a whole bunch of enemy shit. So Belnura Ironthick would be my female dwarf barbarian. Hello, and thank you for checking out the video. I just want to let you know that I not only create content on my YouTube channel, Class in the Glass, but I'm also on Twitch, where I review movies, cartoons, and TV shows live, while also playing single-player games and multiplayer games. I also have a Patreon, where subscribers have access to hundreds of video and audio commentaries for films and cartoons, as well as podcasts and videocasts. In the meantime, thank you again for watching, and enjoy the video. We're just about to get into Class in the Glass cast for you, ask a little sass chat, where I read my very generous patrons' Patreon questions. I want to go ahead and get into it. I'm going to read these in the order at which I have received them, chat. I think it's only fair that I do so. That I do so. So we're going to go ahead. And we're going to start with M. Xavier. Thank you, M. Xavier, for being a subscriber on the Patreon. Thank you for your support. And he's got 2 questions for us. Very good questions. I actually like them quite a bit. I recently started rewatching the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Nice. Good choice. And it reminded me of how great Andy Serkis's performance as Gollum was. I know the Oscars don't mean anything, but are there any non-live action performances you feel deserved at least a nomination? And I was like, yes, another Andy Serkis performance. I feel like he deserved to be nominated for Caesar in the Apes trilogy. I thought there may be an opportunity for Dawn to play the Apes, or definitely in War. Definitely didn't happen. There's some debate where it's like, well, his performance is being assisted by all these artists and, this mocap team and everything. It's like, I get that, but I feel like the almost should be like a separate category then at the Oscars or these award shows for best mocap character, best mocap performance then. And then you can both award the actor who plays that character and also the team that worked on it, the studio that worked on it. I feel like that makes sense. Apes together, strong, how he does. It was like, yeah, this. He does this, that's right. But yeah, because, Caesar is is an amazing character. I love the Apes trilogy, the one by, Rupert Wyatt, I think. And Matt Reeves, because I think Rupert Wyatt did the first one, and then Matt Reeves came in and he did the last 2. And I love all 3 of those films. Dawn's probably my favorite, but I think all 3 films are great. And Serkis's performance is the thing that, is the glue to all that. It really makes you care. I like that they changed it where, I know in the original Ape series, they did this eventually, where in the first one, it was very much focused on Charlton Heston's character. But as they went along, they had Caesar, and it was more focused on the apes. But I like this, for most people, I don't think a lot of people saw those Ape sequels. So they're more familiar with just the Charlton Heston film. So this one, I liked that they really focused on the apes, and we saw things from their perspective. That was really unique and cool, just for a new generation. And, it was led by Serkis performance. And actually, a lot of great actors in those movies. Toby Kebbell, who's famous for playing, like Khan in Khan Skull Island. He also was was it Kobu? Kovu? I think it was, he was the evil monkey. He was the evil ape in that. Kobu? Oh, shit, I forget his name. You guys remember it. But Koba, that's it. Thank you, Joseph Koba. Koba, that was, I thought he did a great job. Marky Mark playing the apes? No, Stranger Shoe, no. He was awful. Please don't bring that up. Oh, God, another great Marky Mark movie. I got to do a video, I got to do a video commentary for it, and I got to do a review for it. But yeah, Andy Serkis, I think, as Caesar and Gollum, he definitely deserved some type of recognition, even if it's a special, because they've done that in the past. Like, for your entire career, here's a special recognition Oscar or something, an Academy Award, if you will. But along with, mocap performances, what I do think they should be honored, the actor and also the team that worked on it. I think that should be a category. I'm like, why not? Why not at this point? I mean, the fact that now there's rumblings that they might have a category for, I was reading something the other day where it was like most socially, like, geared towards social media. It's like the People's Choice Awards Oscar, where it's like, it's one of the big movies people actually fucking saw in the theater. And so then you could potentially see something like Spider-Man No Way Home being nominated, or one of the big blockbusters people really love this year being nominated. It was some kind of category like that, was dealing with like social engagement. I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is. That just sounds weird. But outside of that, like, I do think there should be a mocap Oscar, both for the actor and the team. And otherwise, I want voice actor. I want voice actor and voice actress category as well. And I think that'd be fun. There's been so many great just voice performances. I mean, in multiple animated films and also live action movies. I mean, in the last few years, we saw Scarlett Johansson and her. I mean, I remember there being like a lot of buzz in Spike Jonze's for her that Scarlett Johansson might get an Oscar nomination for her voice work in that. And you've had some other iconic roles throughout the 30-year period. I mean, Robin Williams, of course, in The Genie. I mean, that was an incredible performance. Or or Mike Myers or Eddie Murphy bringing up Shrek, like their roles in Shrek. I think that that should have been honored, because of what they did. But if I had to for this year, which I haven't seen all of these animated films, of course. I've saw like the big two. I guess I've seen Luca as well. But I saw Encanto and Mitchell vs. the Machines. Those both be on my list of my favorite movies this year. And if I had to nominate anyone in that particular kit, like best voiceover role, I probably would nominate, at least among my nominees, I have at least 3 in mind. Stephanie Beatrice as Mirabelle Madrigal. She's the main character in Encanto. I think she did a terrific job. I would nominate her for best voice actor. And, right alongside her for the Mitchell vs. the Machines, I would nominate Abby Jacobson, plays the main character of Kate Mitchell, and then probably Danny McBride as Rick Mitchell, plays the father, of course. I think that would be cool, and then you can potentially nominate some other people as well. But that's just off the top of my head. Like I feel like that should be a category. I don't know about you guys. Do you feel like there should be like a category for mocap artists and team, and also for voice actors, just to have them get more recognition? Like I love Abby Jacobson. She's because she has been doing a really good job, and she was excellent as Katie. Super, super funny. Abby Jacobson in Disenchantment. See, I've never watched Disenchantment. What character does she play in that? Is she the lead? Because I guess the lead character's name is Bean. Where's Bean? Voiceactors and mocappers need more love. Agreed, Berserker. That's how I feel like. I feel like if they're talking about like a social like a People's Choice Award, a social media film being nominated, or the impact social media, it's like, then fucking nominate these other people that have been doing this for however many years, decades. Bat Boy, stop ignoring me. I'm sorry, Bat Boy. Albert Brooks and Marlin in Finding Nemo, Ed Asner and Up, and Bert and Wall-E, Gary Oldman, Kung Fu Panda. Oh, he fucking killed it. I'm glad you brought up Gary Oldman, Kung Fu Panda 2. Is that very effeminate peacock? Hell yeah. I was talking about that the other day. Yes. Great choices, Chad. She's the leading character Bean. Very cool. No, I love it. I mean, there's so many people you could potentially nominate in all these animated films, and some of the supporting roles as well. He was also a good Con in Peter Jackson's film. Oh, that's right. Yeah. He played Con in that as well. That's right. Andy Serkis, that is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Albert Brooks, the voice of Mar. Oh, I just got you. I gave the strongest performance in that film for me. No, you did a very good job. Very good job. Yeah. There should be a best movie you deserve a refund on category. I feel like, in terms of expanding the Oscar nominations, I do feel like there should be something that honors because as the technology changes, as the industry innovates upon itself, you're going to have like categories you wouldn't have thought of back in the day, 30 years ago. And so like mocap artists, I think that's a thing that they should nominate. You should nominate. I mean, they should have been nominating voice actors years ago, decades ago. There's no reason why they couldn't have done that. But I just feel like you have certain people within the Academy that look down on that as I remember when Beauty and the Beast was nominated, and you can read about this, how they almost treated that as a joke, that an animated film was nominated for Best Picture, even though it definitely was one of the best movies of that year. It was incredible. But a lot of people I think tend to, within that industry, and all those, old jabronis, they look down on animation, and they just don't understand the technology. So it's really weird to me. I mean, there's some people within the Academy that they were thinking about removing the editing Oscar for best editing. It's like, are you fucking serious? Editing's like one of the most important aspects of filmmaking. We're gonna remove it. It's like, what are you talking about? And so they just don't know what they're doing, and that's what's so frustrating. They need to some of the people just need to retire. We got to get out of here. Get out of here. Lisa, hard hands. Good to see you, Lisa. Welcome. Yeah. Like removing the editing Oscar is like, what are you talking about? Yeah, because they were like, well, we got to make the show move on, and they're like, no one cares about editors, but it's like that's an incredibly important part of the filmmaking process. It was just so bizarre. They wanted to edit out. They wanted to edit out the award, so that was always frustrating. Usually, would you be a voice actor? I mean, I would love to. One of my, I know Valkyru has sent me a number of things to look at in terms of voice acting. That's one of my other career goals someday, chat. I really would love to break into voice acting, be involved in animated projects. Yeah, as you guys know, I have a love for animation, and I love talking about voice actors and their roles. I'm like, I can pick up on like, oh, I know that guy, I know who that is. You know, just based certain on the cadence of their voice and the inflection, no matter what character they play as. And no, I would love to one day be involved in an animated show, or hell, the thing I think it's gotten easier because you have all these independent creators on YouTube doing their stuff right now. Like I've talked about Chad Vizipop, who is the creator of Hell of a Boss and Has Been Hotel, and see how that has grown and proliferated, inspiring so many other people to be involved in a show like that. That would be incredible. That would be so awesome. It just takes time. You got to put yourself out there, of course, but I would love to get into that industry. I think it'd be really fun. Man, I respect for voice. Yeah, I have respect for voice actors, and because they don't get enough respect, I feel. Yeah. Oh, no, I was talking to Gertz earlier about all of his impressions. He does some amazing ones. I knew Chris before the fame, Corybot. Did you look up Chris Carr? I think she teaches voice acting stuff. I'm going to make a note of that. I'll add that to the Word doc. She's voice acting stuff like that. She even teaches you while you're at home, so you can do it on your go. Woo, that's cool. It's very convenient. A lot of resources. Thank you again, Valkyrie. Thank you again. Patrick Warburton is one of the best. Patrick Warburton does such a great job. Oh, yeah. He has that. He has a killer voice. Peter. The Oscars used to give an award for best dance direction. Really? Wow. Well, that's when they're doing like a lot of musicals. They'll kind of, and not that they have stopped. They're still making musicals or, you know, movies that incorporate a lot of dance, but you're not seeing too many singing in the rains, are you? Nowadays, the times change, chat. The times change. Didn't think you were going to stream. Yeah, no, I didn't want to miss too many days of streaming. I was able to do it on Friday, of course, because of DT Live. But I was like, I'm going to drive back because I want to do it for you guys. And so far, it's been fun. Been going really well so far. Especially my face is tired voice actor, very fast. Well, you know, not everyone's great. And the thing is, it applies to voice actors as well. You know, you can be the most talented actor in the world, but if you're getting a shit script and you're giving shit direction, probably going to give a shit performance. This is kind of how it is. Yeah, Stunt Academy. That's another good one, Gio. You know, you're right. Stunt Academy award nomination. I agree. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. And the stunt men and stunt women are incredibly underappreciated in the industry and for what the work that they have done. So that is an excellent recommendation. I like that a lot. Loco weird because I'm like that too with voice actors. Can sometimes pick up who the voice that character and such. Yes, I appreciate voice actors and actresses more than some. Yeah, the thing is, I'll tell you what. They always just seem, at least in my experience, I can't speak for everybody. But in my experience, they always just seem much more appreciative and like willing to talk to people because, you know, their face is not the forefront of the product. You know, it's the character. It's the animated character, if you will. And so when people recognize them, I feel like they're like, oh, wow, they know who I am. Like people, you have to do some research into some of this to like know who they are. You know, it's not like seeing like a whoever celebrity, whatever big named actor and like, oh yeah, you're seeing their face. And so I think that they appreciate that. And just in interviews and podcasts, like certain people, I've noticed how they just seem very wholesome and kind. Like you have like Maurice LaMarche. You had Maurice LaMarche. And then you also had Rob Paulson, who Corey interviewed. And I really recommend people checking out. I know, I guess Corey, he's still in the DT universe. I think he just did one recently with, Tony Todd, you know, famously played Candyman. And I really love that interview. I think, Corey he did several interviews. He did one with Rob Paulson, then he did one with Rob Paulson and Maurice LaMarche. And you really just got the sense that they were just happy to be there and just happy to talk. You love the dynamic and just the kindness. It just felt very warm, and I just get that impression from like a lot of voice actors. So, yeah, that's just kind of cool. I love those two guys and grew up with them too. I think that's the other thing too. Like, it's like as a voice actor, usually when you're acting, like maybe your career's not gonna go for your entire lifetime. But voice actor, they voice things for decades, which is crazy. 30 plus years, 40 years. I mean, Ed Asner was voicing stuff for the majority of his life. So it's pretty incredible. Oh, facts. Stunt people literally risk their lives for it. True, true. And they should be honored as such. Troy Baker seems hard to talk to. I always got the impression that Troy Baker seemed really nice. Same with like Nolan North, a lot of these video game guys too. I think Troy Baker, he made the mistake recently of just pissing off a lot of people with that NFT stuff. And so, but I always got this impression that he seemed like a nice guy. RD, good to see you. Hey, Juicy Bro. I just came to stop by and say hi. I fucked up my back. Oh, no, I can't sit for a long time, so I can't stay on for long. I'll catch you later. No problem, chat. Can we get some Mr. Evan Yanks, Mr. Evan Hypes, or RD? I'm sorry, but back pain is the worst. I've had a little bit. I've kind of messed up my back maybe like a couple of times in my life, and that'll put you down. So if you can get some support for RD right now, chat, I'd appreciate it. Valkyrie, think of the Timothy's. Also, Chris. There's also voice courses on Sound on Studio. Greg Chun, the voice actor from Squid Games, Dub teaches a course there, and he's pretty awesome. I'm going to check this out, man. Thank you for sending me the link. I'm adding this to the Word doc. Keep a Word doc out for you guys in case you mention it. So I was like, ooh, I think that'll be good to pursue. Thank you in the end for the 10 biddies as well. Yeah, but to wrap up M. Xavier's question, I do feel like there should be a way to honor these people who do these mocap performances. They should get an award. And the team that assists with that performance, absolutely. And also voice actors. It's been a long time coming. I mean, I think if you're going to do that category, it's like, okay, we're going to make up for all the times where we should have nominated these guys. So you should probably have like a special award, like here's a Lifetime Achievement Award, because they deserve it. Punk Monkey Junkie, thank you for giving a sub to Michael the Collector. Thank you for all your support tonight, my friend. Appreciate you. Oh, but now, chat, we have another question from M. Xavier. And I'm curious about this one, chat. I'm very curious about this one because there's been a release of a certain show. And I guess it's getting a bit of a mixed reaction. People I know that really like, other people are like, yeah, shouldn't have done this. Kind of want to hear your perspective on this. With the release of Bel Air, are there any sitcoms or comedies that we'd want to see a dramatic version of? It seems to be so many different opinions across the board, chat, for Bel Air. I know Corey and Martin, they reviewed it recently, and they were pretty positive about it. And then some other people are saying, like, yeah, this is shit. So I didn't really have any interest in it. I watched the trailer for like a couple of weeks ago with you guys, like I think on a DT gameplay stream. And I was like, yeah, I'm not really getting it. It looks weird to me. So I don't really have any interest, but I feel like I want to check it out just so I can get like, okay, I'm going to have my opinion out there and so you guys can just know. Because I watched the original Fresh Prince of Bel-Air back in the day. I always thought it was very funny. I always really liked it. Thought the actors did a great job and the writing was on par. But yeah, I didn't have much interest in this. I think before it started, I was kind of like a joke, but they did it. And so I'm not sure what you guys are feeling about it. But to answer the question, I feel like one that it's not even a reboot because what they can do is they can continue on with it. It's the next phase of this show. And they kind of did this. They kind of did this with this show. I don't think they did it in the right way or they just weren't as inspired as they were back in the day. But as you guys know, I'm a huge Boy Meets World fan. Feeney! Mr. Feeney chat. I'm a huge Boy Meets World fan. And that was a series that was a part of my childhood about growing up. I absolutely loved the chat. I loved all those characters from Corey to Topanga to Sean to Eric Matthews chat to Feeney, Mr. Feeney, of course. I love that series. And they did a sequel series that was called Girl Meets World. And it was like, oh, it makes sense. Now it's Corey and Topanga's children. And they're going through school and everything. You bring back the original characters, all these new characters. I was like, oh, that's great. And I watched some of the episodes, and I have to say, the best part about those episodes was the original cast. Coming back, seeing them older, all their life experiences, what they went through. I was like, oh, this is great. I'm really liking this. And then the worst part of the show, sadly, was all the new characters that just felt underwritten and uninspired and just boring. I was like, I don't care about these kids. It just almost felt like their problems were manufactured. But it was the original cast that I thought was like really bringing it, both with the drama and the comedy. And I talked about this before. I feel like, and I'm not going to do it now, but I feel like what they probably should have done was the show Man Meets World, where you can have it where their kids are in it and everything, but now it's all these characters where they are older and now they're adults. So Corey and Topanga, it's all about their marriage and their life, their professions and everything, raising these children, and it's the same with everyone else. I feel like that should be the focus. That was the strongest aspects of Girl Meets World, because the cast the actress who plays Topanga, I mean, that was like one of my, I think it was a previous Class in the Glass question back in the day. One of my early crushes, I think, as a kid. I was like, oh my God, Topanga, yeah, she's gorgeous. Gorgeous. But I feel like that's what the show should have been, the sequel series, if you will, and where they can get a little more dramatic and it can be a little darker if they want. As you get older, reality starts to hit you, chat hard. Sometimes it hits you hard in the face, and so I feel like that would have been a really good opportunity. That could have been a really good opportunity to do a show like that, and they didn't. But who knows? You never know. Perv, we mean Perv. Everyone likes Topanga. Am I wrong, chat? Am I wrong? Of course not. Was she the one to become? No, no. That was. Oh God, that was shit. What was her name? Oh God, damn it. Oh God, Angela. That was Angela. There's Topanga, and then there's Angela. Angela became the porn star. I heard some things about her. Her experience on Boy Meets World. I guess it wasn't the best. Because the cast apparently at the time was like super cliquey with each other. And they weren't like very welcoming to like new people that entered the show like in the latter season, which is kind of shit. Because I like the Angela character. I like that. She didn't do porn. I didn't say that. Spurn said it. Well, I mean, she did something, right? Didn't she do some kind of adult entertainment? She did something adult. I know that. But I like Angela. I like the characters they brought into the latter seasons too. And Sean's stepbrother, I liked him as well. Yeah, it was good. I think she might have. Oh, Rachel. Am I thinking of, is it Rachel? No, it is Angela. All right, I gotta look up the Boy Meets World wiki. I'm gonna type in Angela. I'm not fucking crazy. It is Angela. I know what I'm talking about. We were throwing out names like, what are you talking about? Yeah, Angela. Yeah, she was with Sean. She was with Sean, and that was one of the relationships of the latter seasons. And it's sad because they didn't bring her back for Girl Meets World, and it's implied that they just broke up. So, Christina, I'm not nasty. Ever watched Degrassi? No, I'm not. I don't know what that is. Yeah, but no, Boy Meets World. It's you never saw it, Cristiano? I guess that was a big show in the '90s and into the early 2000s, and that was when I was going from like elementary school to like middle school, like those characters were, and so I kind of related to that, and I really identified with that. It's a big part of my childhood. So, and now as an adult, I think it would have been really cool to then see them, and we did to a degree, but okay, let's see them now in that more adult setting. Now that would have been awesome. We only got a little bit of that. Didn't get enough, chat. That would be my answer. I would not do a reboot, but it would just be a sequel series where it's a little darker, a little more serious. Boy Meets World now becomes Man Meets World, chat. That's how we do it. Fern with the 400 biddies. Thank you so much for that incredible support. We used to watch a lot of Degrassi. I don't know what Degrassi is. When Drake was on Degrassi, it was the shit. You are nasty. Well, that's true. I have my moments. I have my nasty moments. Don't we all? Don't we all? We're all depraved. We all got our kinks and fetishes and weird shit. I don't know what this Degrassi is. Is this another Disney show? Canadian show. Degrassi. It's 14 fucking seasons. Canadian T-drama franchise. No, I don't know what the hell this is. I've never heard of this. They got like series The Kids of Degrassi Street, Degrassi Junior High, and Degrassi High, Degrassi Talks, The Next Generation, Next Class, and Degrassi. Unfamiliar with it, Chad. Unfamiliar with it. Old ass show. Yeah, I guess it started in... it started in... Wait, is this a soap opera? Wow, it started in 1979. 1979, and they're doing another show in 2023. The last one, that Degrassi, The Next Class, was in 2016 and 2017, and then I guess they did a web series too. Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with this, chat. Yeah, you Canadians and your shows copying us Americans. Horrible. I don't know. I never watched it, chat. I just don't know. Angela she was in one episode of Girl Meets World. Oh fuck, I don't remember that one. I thought they didn't bring her back for reasons. But yeah, M. Xavier, thank you for submitting these questions. I hope you enjoyed these answers. Do you want Man Meets World, chat? Would you guys want Man Meets World? I want Man Meets World. I think that'd be funny. Bad Drake might be a Oh yeah, that's right. Drake's the guy that's like was talking with 11, the girl, what's her name? Millie Bobby Brown. Wasn't she the one that he was like constantly talking with her and stuff? That was a little weird. It's a little weird, yeah. I never seen Boy Meets World. God damn it, then change it. Change that. You got to see it. View. Ask when there's Kevin Smith universe is a Degrassi direct. Oh, is it? Oh, shit. It's like, what, a Silent Bob? And, well, I guess isn't Scream part of the Kevin Smith verse, too? Because Jay and Silent Bob are in 3 for whatever reason. When I watch a Sean and Angela spin-off. I'd watch that. I wouldn't mind that. If they want to do a Sean and Angela series spin-off, I'd watch it. But take my concept, make it more adult. Not like, sex and shit. I mean, they have sex if they want to. But I think that'd be fun. It'd be really fun. You know who Drake is. I know of him. I know of him. Yeah, Degrassi Junior High was the best early 90s. The opening theme is epic. I don't know what this is. Yeah, never heard of it. Maybe I have heard of it, but I just didn't know. Get out. What are you talking about? I agree with your idea now. I want to do. I would totally be up to, I would totally be open to an Angela Shawn spinoff. It's a little darker. And it's not because she's black. That's not the reason. I'm saying it's darker. Just like in terms of tone. Oh, my Lord. Oh, The View Ask-Winiverse is a fictional universe created by writer-director Kevin Smith, featured in several films, comics, and a television series named for Smith's production company, View Askew Production. Oh, okay. I didn't know that was called. So it has a specific name. That's why you wore the shirt. I did not wear this shirt. This is the first time I'm wearing it. This is the first time I'm wearing it, goddammit. And this beard is fucking clean. I took a shower when I got home. No. But no, MZ, thank you so much for the questions, my friend. Thank you so much for being a subscriber to the Patreon. Hope you're enjoying all the benefits of it. And now, my friends, we're going to go ahead. Casby's supporting me. It's a different shirt. Casby believes me. We're now going to move on to Vanisphere's questions right now, chat. For this week's questions, let's go over the game I just started streaming yesterday, God of War. You might have seen him stream this game, chat. He has a movie question. One of God of War's technical achievements was that if you don't die or turn the game off at any point, the camera never cuts away and is essentially one continuous shot. True. In film, we've seen examples of this, like in Birdman 1917. What are your thoughts on this camera style? Is it a gimmick or a style that rightfully keeps its focus where it belongs? Personally, I think it's a bit of a gimmick. An impressive one, though, but works better in action scenes. Fern with the 100 biddies. Thank you, Fern, even though you called me a perf. Thank you. I'll take that. Man, it's almost on barrel. I'm sorry. Oh, no, RD, no problem at all, man. No, you get your rest. That's far more important. Do what you need to do for your back, man. Sorry about all the issues. You ignored all my comments. What do you mean, Lisa? I didn't mean to ignore your comments. I was being called a perv. And the comment I see from you is racist. You called me a racist. You are no longer my hero. What did I do? Your comments were, you're no longer my hero and racist. Were those the ones I missed? God damn it. G-O-D-O, thank you so much for the 200 biddies. God damn it. Oh, my God. Now, I love that style. I just rewatched Creed, and I forgot about that one shot fight scene. Yeah, that's the beginning one. That's the first fight scene. It's probably the best fight scene in the movie. But to answer your question, Vanny, I think it's a gimmick, but it's one that's intimate, and I think it works. And in terms of video games, I think for God of War specifically, it separates it from the previous games aesthetically and structurally. Because, those are more, button mashers. Those are hack and slash games and things. And I think it's a little, over the top and a little tongue-in-cheek. And, I think Kratos in those is, like, so over-exaggerated that it's almost parody at that point. It's almost ridiculous. And so I really liked that they went with just a whole different vibe to it. It felt like it was more serious. It was more about the relationship between Kratos and his son, and I liked that. And I think that was the purpose of that, and just make it feel more intimate. Even the camera's like closer to Kratos, like you're closer to him, chat. But that's been a thing. Like people love the long tracking shots. That's been around for so long. Yeah, you mentioned recently Birdman 1917. I mean, Scorsese, he loves doing that shit. And everything from Goodfellas to The Wolf of Wall Street. And yeah, it's a gimmick, but it's as you said, it's an impressive one and one that I don't mind. I think that's really cool. I mean, John Carpenter, he's done that before, like in Halloween, 78 and stuff. So I always admire, because that is very difficult to do, because so many small things could go wrong. You got to get the choreography down just right, because then if you fuck it up, it's like you got to reset, and it takes so long, and everything, got to get everyone in position. There's so much choreography with that. And so for films, it's incredibly impressive. But for games in the case of God of War, I think it was just done to just really aesthetically separate it from those original titles, make you feel closer to Kratos, who is a much more humble and calmer man than he gets very angry in that. Like I like that. I really like what they were doing with that. So yeah, I like that they changed that. And they did it for aesthetic purposes and structural purposes. I thought it worked super well. Goodfellas is my shit. Goodfellas is my shit too. That's probably my favorite Scorsese movie. Definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. That's in my top 20. No question. There was this lame horror movie a decade ago called Silent House with Elizabeth Olsen, where the big thing they sold it was that it was filmed to look like one long take. Example of being a gimmick to me. Sure. No, I get that. And that's all you're selling your movie on. That's the thing. Like, okay, so as you brought up, like if that's all your movie's being sold on is just these long takes and not the characters or the choreography or the writing, then it's like, yeah, then it's very much indulging just being a gimmick. But when you can use that gimmick well while incorporating all these other great things within the movie itself or the game itself, then it's just like, oh, this is another great feature of the film. And so, yeah, I like the whole long take with Kratos. Yeah, if you don't die, it's continuous, and I really love that. And the camera, like what it always does is because we'll focus on the characters, so it'll go from Kratos and just keep moving the other characters and Atreus, and eventually it'll just find its way back to Kratos, like behind his back and everything. And I really like that. I thought it was really slick, and it just separates it again from the previous God of War games, which, as you guys know, I am not a big fan of. Hashtag love for Lisa, of course. Even though she says I'm no longer her hero. Oh, my Lord. I'm getting canceled right and left, hard hands. Thank you. Oh, but moving on to the next question, chat. TV question. There have been a lot of Dad of War kind of puns memes when it comes to how Kratos treats his son Atreus. I love those. That's what I call the Dad of War. Even while playing yesterday, I was audibly going, hug your fucking child, Kratos, when you could tell Atreus was genuinely hurt. What makes these moments so effectively agonizing is you can tell early on that Kratos genuinely loves his son, but is actually afraid to show him. Yes. You see this in TV shows as well with characters that are emotionally stunted or withholding. Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a personal favorite, but was wondering, who are yours? Kind of go back to Kratos. I think like Kratos, like he does love his son, but I think the reason why he is initially so standoffish, and actually, this is one of the benefits of playing the previous games, is he is so concerned about hurting his son as well. Both because of his traumatic past with his original wife and daughter, where he is the reason why they died. He's killed them. And also, he's afraid to reveal the truth of what Atreus' true heritage is. That also makes him afraid. And so I think in turn, that's why he struggles with being intimate. He wants to. Like, I love that we see, like, by the end of the game, like, you get that moment where they're hugging and Kratos has his arm over his son. I love that. It's like, oh my God, this is so good, just narratively. But I totally understood why he was just, like, even when he's about to, but he pauses because he's like, I just don't want to, because he's so scared about fucking it up, of ruining everything. Because that's what happened in the previous games. That's when he destroyed mythological Greece. And he killed all those Greek gods and stuff. He doesn't want to do that again. Like, even when he's being engaged by, like, oh God. Who's the main villain in that game? It's not, Boulder. When he's being engaged by Boulder, and like when Boulder's like fucking slapping around, and Kratos is like, just fucking leave, just go, okay, you don't want to do this. He doesn't want to engage in that. And so, yeah, I love that take on Kratos, where he's trying to be more in control and a little more closed off, where he was so emotional in the previous games. Here he's trying to keep that under control, but in turn, he's neglecting his son, which just makes the whole, relationship so fascinating and so much, fun to engage with in the entire game. So good. Boulder, thank you, Che. The Greek gods had to come. That's true. But he killed a lot. There was a lot of collateral damage along the way. There's some people that you didn't have to do that. You had to kill some of these guys. Oh yeah, the fight with Baldur. Oh yeah, the first fight with him, of course, and then all the fights in the game are great. But yeah, and that last one too. Loved it. So cinematic. Danny DeVito would go dad shopping with him. Speaking of Danny DeVito, Nia Brownie. That's what I have to say when it comes to like my personal favorite stunted characters. The entire cast of Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Chad. These people are emotionally, psychologically stunted because of the environment they grew up in and the people who were their guardians or their parental figures. I mean, look at fucking Dee and Dennis. I mean, their dad was Danny DeVito. Frank fucking Reynolds, who was, he didn't really offer them the bastion of moral high ground, if you will. Where Dee is, such a flake and so non-committal and has so many self-esteem issues. And then you have Dennis, who is obviously a serial killer. It's like, of course, yeah, they're psychopaths. You have Charlie, who, obviously, and Mac, abusive parents. I mean, Charlie can't even fucking read. He can't even read. He lives in deplorable conditions, and he's happy about it. Mac, he had issues with his sexuality and his body for years, multiple seasons. Like, these people they've gone through so much pain, and they're shitty, and they're bad, but it's because of all their past experiences. Long before we even saw the shows, which I love it. They're just broken. They're like the evolved or in this case, devolved versions of like Seinfeld, if you will. Someone like Kramer or George Costanza, who are broken people. But they just went to such a farther degree with these cast of characters. But I love them. I love to hate them, Chad. I love to hate them because when bad things happen to them, it's like, yeah, you deserved it. But you still want to follow them on their adventures. The next scheme, the next scam, Chad. I love Max. Max is great. I just love the whole game. They complement each other so well. Now it's the longest running sitcom of all time, live action sitcom of all time. How many seasons? They got 2 or 3 more seasons planned. So I cannot wait. What a wonderful show, Chad. To me, it is the kind of successor of Seinfeld. A show about nothing. A show about really shitty people trying to get away with stuff. To me, that's what it is. Hashtag love release, of course. And the McPoyle's worse because they're all fucking incest. They're all those incestuous relationships. That's why they're all messed up. It's still on. It's still going. I think they got at least 2 or 3 seasons planned after the one that it's currently airing right now. I only watched a couple of episodes of the most recent season. Very good though. Very, very funny. Oh, Bob's Burgers, great comedian. Yeah, to me that is, speaking of spiritual successors, that's kind of taken the place of The Simpsons, where, I talked about this before, like The Simpsons back in the 90s. Let's say season 2 to season 9, 10, or 11. I think that's kind of the golden age. It's that's some of the best television that was on during that time. It was like, wow, this is revolutionary. It's animation, but it's for adults. I mean, it's for families. They're topical. I mean, that was ahead of the game. I mean, it's all these people who are copying The Simpsons or inspired by The Simpsons. But like everything, when you're on for so long, eventually you start to lose it. You run out of good ideas, and that's what happened to The Simpsons, where it just the jokes weren't hitting. It wasn't as wholesome anymore. Characters started becoming one note, especially like Homer. Like, what I liked about Homer in those initial seasons, 10 plus seasons, is that yes, he's dumb, but he still tries. He still tries to be a good father. He still tries to be a good husband. And I like that. And all the characters had those moments where they're flawed, but they do love each other. But as the seasons went on, Homer just became, he's just the dumb guy. He's straight up dumb, and he's just kind of irredeemable at some points. And then we see the evolution of that with something like Family Guy, which again was, wow, it's okay, you're doing the Simpsons formula, that's fine. But it's even a little more adult, it's a little more edgy. But those first few seasons of Family Guy, I think they're really great. They're excellent. I think I had some of them on DVD, and the show got canceled. And then it went along, it just became about all the cutaway gags and where no one was likable, everyone was a piece of shit. And even Meg, I'm like, all right, it's a running gag because Meg is fuck you, Meg, and shit. It's shut up, Meg. But I was okay, this is cruel. It became mean-spirited, I feel like. It became mean-spirited. But Bob's Burgers, at least the seasons that I have seen, and maybe it's changed recently, I don't know. I haven't watched maybe the last 2 seasons or something. But that has the kind of the magic that The Simpsons originally had. Where this family is flawed and they're struggling, they'll fuck up, but at the end of the day, they still really love each other. And I like that about Bob's Burgers a lot. And I'm looking forward to the movie. I mean, the movie just looks like, yeah, look, improved animation, just looks like another episode of Bob's Burgers. But I'm looking forward to it, though. I want to see if they can have that crossover to that film and make it work. Simpsons did it. Like I've said before, the Simpsons should have ended with the movie. I thought that was the last Simpsons thing. I was like, wow, that was actually really good. You should end it right there. It was their biggest adventure. They saved the town. They all became closer. You know, I mean, Bart was having a existential fucking crisis, and Homer came through for it. It's like it was doing the things I thought the original show did so well. I was like, oh, good, now end it, and then 15 more seasons later, it's like fuck. So, yeah, Bob's Burgers to me is very much the spiritual successor to The Simpsons. But I got off track. But no, thank you for bringing it up though. I never mind talking about. I never mind going on these tangents, chat. They're always very, very fun. But, oh yeah, so in terms of, like, these characters who are just stunted emotionally, psychologically, CHRACTERS, Always Sunny in Philadelphia, no doubt. And we get more darker, a little more dramatic, Chad. I would say Tony Soprano. The Sopranos, that really did change television, in terms of, like, dramatic television, I would say. I mean, just cable in general. And the types of content. Like, without The Sopranos, we would not have Breaking Bad. Without The Sopranos, we wouldn't have The Wire. We wouldn't have all these amazing shows. We wouldn't have, The Shield and everything, or Boardwalk Empire. Sopranos was the progenitor. It was the original. So, yep. I mean, I don't think it ended very well, but you still had a lot of great season television. They had the movie come out, and I still haven't seen it because I'm just afraid to at this point, because everyone says it sucks. I was like, god damn it. You had an opportunity to reignite interest, and it looks like they floundered it. But the character of Tony Soprano was interesting at the time because he was the main character of a show, and typically for the main character of a TV show, they are supposed to be likable. Even if they're, like, unlikable, then it's like, okay, if they're unlikable, they need to be funny. They need to either be the one providing the humor or they're the butt of the joke. And what was so unique about Tony was that he was a piece of shit through and through. He was a murderer. He was an adulterer. He was a manipulative human being. And he was the lead character of your series. And that was revolutionary. There's never been anything like that at the time. He was an anti-hero. If you want to throw it in, sure. I would even pause to say that, but yeah, sure. He was our protagonist. He was our anti-hero of the show. And he has all, I mean, the series, the first episode opens up with him having a psychological breakdown where this mob boss, or this member of the mob, he's a captain well, it's funny. He's a captain, but he's clearly running things because the replacement boss, Jackie, who's his, childhood best friend, is dying of cancer, but he's really in control of everything. But despite all this power, all this money, seemingly having everything he wants, living the dream lifestyle, he is depressed, and he has to go speak to this psychiatrist. And it's like the only parts where in the show which he can, and he doesn't always choose to be, but it's in these scenes where he can be the most honest about himself and not lie, not keep up the facade, and expose what a horrible human being he is. But then also get intimate, and you learn more about him, and through, like, his abusive relationship with his mother and his father and just his friends and everything, and what he grew up in, and it was generational. Tony Soprano, and even though achieving the ideal, he's not happy. He's in a loveless marriage. He has numerous issues with his children, especially his son, AJ. It's more, he loves Meadow, but she has issues with him, and with all of his quote unquote friends. I love that. It's, he to me is the perfect example of a stunted character in a drama. At least the one that you would look to for inspiration, I would feel. What does it say? I've heard so many crazy stories about how far he took Tony and its effect his home life. He would bring Tony home. I read about that. And apparently, chat, one of the things that I think maybe added to James Gandolfini's health problems was that I think he was a substance abuser, too. I think he took a lot of cocaine, which is pretty sad. Depression is a beast. It is. Oh, yeah, he's racist as shit. Now, that's the other thing, too. No, he's racist. He's homophobic. xenophobic. No, Tony's a bad person, and yet he's our lead character. And it was kind of that thing where it's like, okay, how's Tony in the game going to get out of this one? How is he going to manipulate New York? How is he going to control his crew? When he has this guy coming out of jail, and Jackie Aprile. It's like so many amazing things. Richie Aprile, like all these different seasons, all these new enemies he's facing off. How does he continue to survive? In this how does he keep up this miserable life of his and staying on top? It's great. Meadow is like the only. I mean, she's the only character I feel like kind of called him out on their bullshit. It's funny because Meadow was based in the fan base. They just liked her because she called out everyone's bullshit. There's a famous scene in The Sopranos where it's a funeral episode. I think it's the last. I think it's season 4, maybe it was season 5, and in that episode, Tony has killed the son of his best friend who passed away from cancer, Jackie Jr. And they're having, and he put out the hit on him because of something he did, and then they're having this whole funeral. And they're all talking about like, the Italian-American heritage and how it's so important. What we have, it's so important. It brings us closer together. And you have Junior Soprano, Corrado Soprano, who's been under house arrest for years. He comes out and he sings this beautiful song in Italian. And everyone's like crying. Everything's like, oh, this is so amazing. This is part of what we are. And Meadow's the one that's like, this is fucking bullshit. This is fucking bullshit. You people killed him. And she's the only one that called him out about it. And she like ran off. And when Tony went to confront her, and she's like, you're a liar. You're a liar. Look what you're doing with all this. And fans hated her for that. But she was right. But she was right about all of them. This whole thing that we got. As Tony always said, all those characters, this thing that we got, it's so important. It's about family. I was like, no, it's not. It's about fucking greed. It's about, indulging in your various vices and your narcissism. And yeah, this whole idea of honor, there's no honor. You would sell. One of the biggest problems that these characters went through in these shows, like the fear that they would rat each other out. And there's all these characters that they looked up to, like, oh, that's a real OG mobster. There was this one, I forgot the character's name, but one of the guys they respected the most, he was like revealed as a rat in like season 1. He just lived long enough until he died. It was so funny. Then he's a voice that someone just say, family. What Vin Diesel has with his family is real than anything that Tony Soprano had with his family or his other family. Both families, if you will. I didn't like the guy Tony's sister almost married. Yeah, Richie Aprile. I like that actor too. He was fun. Janice. I love how they dealt with Richie, though. She fucking shot him in the face. Juice, I want you as a voice actor in my future movie. Oh, thank you, August. That's very kind of you. You let me know, man. You let me know. Chris, who do you think was the best evil protagonist? Michael from The Godfather Part 2 or Tony from The Sopranos? Fuck, that's a great question. Man. Because I love The Godfather Part 2. I love Michael's fall. Also, I like the original cut of, there's different cuts of Godfather Part 2 you can watch, and there's one where you see Michael as an older man, and he has nothing. Even after seemingly winning, but he's just like, and they kind of show it in the film. It's when he's in his sweater because they shot more footage, and he's in his sweater overlooking his compound and everything, and he's just alone. I really like that. But God, that's hard because Godfather Part 2 is amazing. Godfather 1 is great as well. I always prefer Part 2. And maybe I would give it to Tony Sopranos because we've spent more time with him, just in terms of longevity. But both are great. It's apples and oranges. Both very good, very very good. Yeah. Did you ever play the Scarface game? I did. Yeah, I played the Scarface game on PS2. The one where it was a what if Tony Montana survived the events of the movie and rebuilt his empire, man. Yeah. No, I remember that. Maybe GT fuck AJ, the wife was cool, but she had her moments. Fuck Tony, fuck everyone else. Christopher was in by Millie like Meadow and the therapist. Oh yeah. Yeah. Now, Christopher, he was, my God. Now, that's another character who who was emotionally stunted. Father died before, he even got to know him. His father figure, Tony, manipulated him his entire life. He was addicted to drugs and alcohol, both, which is what inevitably killed him, along with Tony at the end. Yeah, chat. You can point at any of, actually, funny enough, you can point any of those characters as Sopranos and go, so emotionally stunted and messed up. True. Because it was a fucking mess. He was a liability. My nephew was a liability. I fucking did it. I should have done years ago, as he said. Little War's underrated film when Nicolas Cage gives a great performance as a man who becomes obsessed with being evil to the point he lets his family, gets them killed, and he can't even get arrested because he's too useless. Damn. I've never seen Lords of War, but I have a lot of people that have said that's a really good movie. Nice. Very nice, Jeff. And the last one, and it's an obvious one because I feel like it's kind of like the, I use this word a lot, spiritual successor, but like Walter White in Breaking Bad, where I like with Walter, we feel so bad from his circumstances. He is, he's turning 50. He has a job as a high school science teacher, which he hates. He's disrespected by his students. He can't even afford enough on his salary to provide for his family. That he has to get a second job working at a goddamn car wash. And he has an unexpected pregnancy with his wife and everything. And he has cancer. And he gets cancer. It's like his life is, it's falling apart. It's in shambles. And, the only choice that he seemingly has is to get in league with a former student who makes meth. But as the series goes on, we start to notice like a lot of notable character flaws with Walter. And, obviously it's his ego. I mean, that's what controls him so thoroughly. And his narcissism. And that's part of, I think, his which makes him so stunted. And that he's so unwilling to admit that because throughout the entire series, he always says, I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for all these people I care about. But I like in the end, at least he came to it. He realized it's like the finale, where he's about to say to Skylar, like, I did this. And she's like, don't fucking say. He says, I did this for myself. I did it because I liked it, because it was fun. And I was like, yeah. So at least he had that coming to God moment, but it was too late. It was after he had lost absolutely everything. He had nothing left. But Walter's one of those other guys. Yeah, I'm the one who knocks, as he once said. Yeah, I actually like Walter, but as the show goes on, I actually struggled with him, which is why I ended up liking Jesse. No, I think that's what the show wanted you to do. I think that's what it was. Yeah, you probably started out disliking Jesse because he's just like this fucking punk delinquent high school dropout. But as the series went on, it's Jesse. Yes, he's a criminal too, but you started to care more about him, and like Jesse at least had a semblance of a soul. Or Walter, he gave that up a long time ago. You started liking Jesse more. You started liking Mike more. Mike Ehrmantraut, Jonathan Banks' character. Hell, I was fucking cheering for Gus Fring by the fourth season. Like, fucking take Walter out. He's too much of a liability. He's gonna get everyone killed. He's gonna ruin this whole operation. And so, I have to put Walter White in there in terms of just an emotionally stunted character who indulged in his egocentric ways and his narcissism that ruined so many people's lives and got a lot of fucking people killed. Yeah. Magnets! But what's he say? Magnets, bitch. Is that what he says? Mike is great. I'm Better Call Saul. I mean, you could also put Jimmy McGill in there, where Jimmy McGill is kind of like a Jesse Pinkman character where it's like you have a soul. You have your morality is so askew, but I know there's a good person there. People see good things in you. Especially with like the Kim Wexler character who does love him. And I like that, but he can't help himself. It's almost like he's addicted to the con. It's almost like it's a disease, almost like a gambling addiction or alcoholism. He just can't fucking help himself. He has that itch. But Bobby Odenkirk is indeed the man. But yeah, you could put Sulgum, you could put Jimmy McGill on this list too. He's maybe the most wholesome of the three. I talked about Tony Soprano, Walter White, and then him, but he still has a lot of those character flaws, chat, that, as we all know, eventually ruin him. Very excited for Better Call Saul. The last season's coming out soon, chat. I know they had issues, obviously, with COVID and with Bob Odenkirk's health and his heart attack, but I'm hoping for the best. I think they're going to wrap it up very well, chat. Very happy. Season 6. Season 6 is right. It's getting more seasons than Breaking Bad. It's crazy, but it's a great show. Anyone who is cautious about, which I understand, it's like, wait, we're going to do a spinoff series about Saul Goodman? Really? Watch the show, chat. It's excellent. I had some, not even misgivings. I guess misgivings, but this was before I watched it. I was like, I don't know about this. But then when I started watching that first, I was like, oh, I was hooked. And by season 2, I was like, oh, this is fucking great. It's probably as good as, I could confidently say, it's as good as Breaking Bad. They don't miss a beat. They don't miss a step, chat. They don't stumble at all at anything. And anything it adds more to Breaking Bad. It's like, oh, shit. So if you ever rewatch it again. They feel more confident, too. And I loved El Camino was good as well. I really liked El Camino. I know some people didn't, but I thought it was great. And it gave the happiest ending possible to Jesse. You know, he still lost so much, but he made it out. He survived. Maybe to a happier life. Badger Skinny. I love Badger Skinny Pete. I like them in El Camino, too. They did a great job. And now, Che, we'll move on to Vanny. See, I'm telling you, Che, I'm giving you thick, robust, curvy answers. Girthy answers. I don't give you yes, no, maybe. Come on now. Video game question. Can we all take a moment and be grateful that the latest God of War was not a big-ass escort mission? Yes. Even when Atreus is temporarily taken from us, we don't have some lame countdown to get back to him, nor do we ever have to worry about his own health bar. I love that. Atreus and Elizabeth and Bausch again are examples of companies that don't need our help, or excuse me, not companies, companions that don't need our help because they are strong enough to take care of themselves. I will also say Ellie from The Last of Us. She's the same way. Unlike that pain in the ass Ashley from Resident Evil 4. Man, very true. Or Trashly. You go in the trash, Ashley. It's where you belong. Or literally anyone in the Dead Rising games. Oh, my fucking God. What is another video game trope that drives you nuts? And how would you fix it? And you can't say just get rid of it. I would, so there's some things that I would like to change. One of the big things is fetch quests, Chaz. You know, I've complained about fetch quests before. It's the whole thing where it's like a lot of MMOs have fetch quests. It's like, all right, go get 5 wolf pelts. You come back. It's like, okay, cool. Get me 10 wolf pelts. Like, fuck, man. I got you 5. Well, you tell me to just do 10 originally. He's like, yeah, okay. I'm sorry. You come back. I need 25 wolf pelts. Fuck me. All right. Okay, so you can do a whole thing. You can have a mission where it's like, get me that thing. I'm like, okay. But whether it be linear or whether it be, more open experience, what would improve it, what would make it easier for me, to enjoy it more, is if you had a lot of character interaction. So like, MMOs or like, let's say RPGs. I'm going to find something, I would like a lot of moments where maybe we come to a point where we're in the fetch quest, having conversations with the characters, with my squad mates, like Mass Effect 2 style, Mass Effect style, like something like that, where they become more interesting. I get to know them on a more intimate level as we go and get this thing. What is this thing that we're coming? What does it mean to them? How does this change their perspective on you or the world? Like stuff like that. Like that would make the fetch quest much more interesting. Like, make it related to things that I already care about, which is, for a lot of RPGs, I really love the characters, like the BioWare characters. That always appeals to me. That's the most interesting aspect, I think, of those games. Not even the open world stuff, maybe not even the main story, but it's these relationships. If you focus it on that, and you cultivate the mission around those things, then it'll be easy to swallow. Totally. So, I think that would be big. Oh, is Ace Rock here? Ace Rock, Buddy Rock, don't stop. Ace Rock, are you here? Ace Rock. I don't know if Ace Rock was Ace Rock. Oh, no. Oh, people just saying, are you in here? So that would help. Water levels. We can get rid of water levels. I don't want to swim. I don't like swimming in video. Is there like any game where swimming is fun? Is there any video game where you're like, you know what? I want to go swimming. It's like, no, you don't. It slows the gameplay down to a fucking crawl. You're not used to it. So suddenly you're like, the controls are totally different. And I'm like, it's Subnautica. I think if you make, okay, that's a good point. I've never played Subnautica, but a lot of people definitely like that. I'm an echo? Am I echoing? Just want to make sure. Jaws Unleashed. All right, so you have some examples where I guess the swimming works, but I don't like them. I don't like none of that. I would say get rid of those. Thank you very much. And then the other thing is, okay, so I don't like being under pressure for timed missions. I understand why you might have them because you got something really, really quick or whatever. I guess, I don't know. Because, like Dead Rising notably has a lot of time. Every game has some sort of time mission, I think, at one point. I would prefer, like, again, for more narrative-focused stuff, if they just had the... See, and at the same time, I don't know how to fix them. Because I would, like, maybe you would have cutscenes where you can have the characters talk about, like, okay, how serious this is right now. Like, we're running out of time, but, kind of the BioWare way, where I'm sorry to bring up BioWare, but I kind of like how they do conversations, things. They can talk about the seriousness of the situation, when we gotta get over there now and stuff. Like, I think maybe that would be a cool way to do it. But, yeah, for fetch quests, let's make it more narrative focused and where I actually give a shit what I'm doing. Water levels, get rid of all that shit. Time missions, just have people tell me, like, hey, we gotta do this. I was like, all right. That would be a little easier for me. I never played Echo the Dolphin. Chat. Yes. Tilted Back to the Future game not too long ago. I loved it. Basically, Back to the Future 4 through 6. Wow. I didn't play the Back to the Future. I played the Jurassic Park one, though. Didn't care for it. Never played it on stream, but I got to play it on stream one day. I think that'd be fun. And now, Chad, we'll move on to Vanny's last question. Rapid question. It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway, that one of the God of War's greatest triumphs is that it turned Kratos from an absolute fucking murder bot with a tragic past into an actual person who's dealing with grief, loss, sorrow, while also having to be a parent for the first time. True. As I grew up, or at least, second time, but the first time where we see him actually being a parent. Yeah, I agree. As we grow up, our opinions on those around us change. Whether it's due to us maturing or being more aware of those around us. Is there someone in your life whose opinions you had of them change? Was it because you grew up and saw them differently as an adult, as your own life experiences changed your perspective on them, or was it because as you became more aware of your surroundings, you learned things that changed your opinion on them? I don't want to say any names. I'm not going to say any names, but there's certain people that, I grew up listening to for a long time or watching, and I love what they did. And then meeting them, and they're like, "Oh, you're a piece of shit." that definitely has happened. That has definitely happened. No one I work with right now. I can say that. No one I work with right now. So don't say it's like he's talking about Corey or Martin or any of these other people. It's like no. Nothing like that. Evanescence, yes. Wake me up inside, save me. Indeed. But yeah, sure. Like I had experience where I talked with someone who I knew through mutual people, and they just kind of blew me off completely. And I was like, "Not you, Nia Brownie. Don't worry. It's not the puppet. It's not Corey Bach. I work with him." I said, "No one I work with right now, or no personally. I could say that. No personally, like nothing like that." But this was years ago. It was right around the time I had first moved to Austin. I was still in grad school. And I'd met someone who I thought was, initially I was like, oh, this person's really funny. And even if I don't agree with them, I like how they delivered everything. And I interacted with this person, and they were just kind of a piece of shit. I'm not going to say who they are. But I was like, yeah, okay, you're just. I mean, I imagine that person has a lot of issues that they have to deal with and everything. But I was like, man, you didn't have to do that. And if anything, it taught me to never do that to someone else. Like I found myself, I'm in a position where I'm interacting with a lot of you guys in person. And the last thing I ever want to do, because I feel so incredibly guilty, is making you feel like I don't want to listen to you or don't want to engage with you or anything like that. I never want to do that because that's a really shitty thing. It's a really shitty feeling, And so, yeah, I did that based on the experience I had with that person all those years ago. It definitely made me like, well, that's the last thing I want to do to anybody else. And so I'm not going to say anyone. I'm not going to say the name or anything like that. But yeah, I was trying to think of like other things. I guess my opinions on them changed. Not so much my opinions on them changed, but I guess I just got a different perspective on them. I think we talked about this before, we talked about this on Double Toasted, like with Corey. And Corey's not the person I was referring to before either. No, not in any capacity. But Corey, he definitely has that. He brings that gravitas. He brings that energy to all the shows that he does, and it works. But when the show's over, he's a super. And you guys probably experienced this too. He's much more relaxed. He's a lot more calm. He's not like going a mile a minute or anything like that. I've seen him be very, very laid back and just kind of like that. And so. Where I think if you just, you wouldn't think that with him because you think he's always on all the time based on how he is on camera, but no, but he's very nice. You guys know he's very nice. He's just more relaxed. He's just more relaxed. And so that's like not even my opinion changed now, but it's like, oh, I see where you have your not even say like he's playing a character or anything like that. He's just a little more exaggerated for the show itself. And I'm the same way with my stuff. I can be exactly when I do my movie reviews, my scene by scene breakdowns can become more exaggerated, something like that. Yeah, Corey Law on that juicy juice. Yep, he's very nice because you was raised right, boy. Thank you, Trailblazers. Thank you. Yeah, and even the person who I was talking about before, who again will remain nameless. I just feel like they had other issues that were probably affecting them anyway. So. That's all I'll say on that. That's the gummies causing the laid back. No, even before the gummies. Even before the gummies. He's very laid back. He's very relaxed. Isn't the real you canceled? No. I guess I'm more exaggerated with like my reviews and stuff, because I feel like, you know, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I want to be. I can poke fun at certain things, or maybe if something's not necessarily interesting, I was like, okay, I can go in a direction with this. I think that's fun. So I'm exaggerated that way with the reviews. But when you're getting here right now, I mean, I'm being very honest, just, you know, very, very natural. This is kind of how I am in person. Those that know me have met me in person. That's pretty much how I act. Corey will owe me money in a few years. Keep it to yourself. Okay, fine. I tried to open up and you ignored me. And now, Chad, we have a last question. It's all facade. Also, follow 7th Facade on Twitch. Yes, do it. Do it. You got to have the @7th Facade, Nia Brownie. What are you doing? Come on now. Kaz, I love how Kaz, thank you so much for saying that. No, it's been so great. Obviously, just having this community here, and it's you know how it's so intimately involved also with DT, and they have that crossover, and being able to, you know, actually meet you guys in person and talk and just, you know, form these relationships. It's been really fun and just great. You know, it just adds kind of like another layer on top of this, and yeah, I really appreciate it. Like I said, I would not be able to do this without you guys, so thank you. Of course, I got to toast you again. May the wings of liberty never lose a feather. You're shaking the pillows of heaven as we speak. Cheers and salute. Thank you so much, Jeff. I've never been to Vegas before. We'll see. I think going to Vegas will be fun. Definitely. You the man, my G. Thank you, baby. GTG. From one G to the other. I love it. Salute. Thank you. Look, I experienced that a lot while I was okay to let people go. That pissed me off. There were people that close to me that was hard to let go until it's done. I have a personal, I'll be honest. You know, I definitely have a personal flaw. Is that I do hold on to grudges. And I've always, you know, I don't know. It's because of I think probably my upbringing. But I've always had, like, it does get me, it does take me time to get over when someone has, like, really personally, like, wronged me, you know, it sticks with me for a little while, and until I'm eventually either able to forgive them or just kind of forget it. But yeah, that's something I've worked on, something I've been trying to work on. I've been, you know, I'm a lot more as I've gotten into my 20s, and now I'm 30 years old at this point. I'm much more relaxed than I used to be. You know, I still have, like, you know, deal with anxiousness and anxiety and stuff like that. Doesn't help with my insomnia. But I have gotten a lot better, whereas in my teenage years, I had, like, probably a lot more anxiety. So, but I've gotten better. I've gotten more calm. I got more relaxed, and I've been able to let things go a lot easier nowadays. Whereas maybe back in the day, it was harder. I would feel that, especially hard if you can't get close. Yeah, that's the other thing. You can't get closer, too. It's just like, and it's like an open wound. You always feel, and you remind yourself, it's like you get mad. Which means, you yell at me every day. That's true, I do. And that open wound will never close. I always feel it. List all my grudges about Chris. No! That's fine. Me too. I saw my ex today, and I guess I gave her the culture. Oh, shit. Yeah, it's, you know, I've been people who I've personally felt have wronged me, you know, I've been standoffish towards, you know, but after a while, it's just like, what has happened is, I think with some of those people where I'm like, I hold these grudges for so long, and then they kind of reveal something about themselves, like in a very public place, you know, like online. And there's like, well, okay, my grudge was warranted. in some cases, chat. I've experienced that, but yeah. Don't want to go into too many details. Oh, me too, Mr. Evans. It would take 50 years for me to forgive one person of something they did to me even after they asked for forgiveness 5 years ago. We just, no. Now, yeah, it takes time. It takes time. And it's, you know, it's something that I've been trying to work on with myself. But it's hard. It's very hard, chat. No, I'm the same way. So, yeah, okay. Thank you, Farrell. No, yeah, it's getting a little honest, chat, getting a little intimate. I love it. Take this note. But I have gotten better about it. I've gotten much more relaxed in like I said, in my 20s, and especially my late 20s, and now 30 years old. So it gets easier. I will say it gets easier. But now, Chad, we'll move on to the last question from Vanny. It's a voice acting question. Kratos' use of the word boy throughout God of War was so goddamn powerful that it could have been a Skyrim shout. True. Yeah, it's like, was it Volstrada or whatever it is. It made the times when he called his son Atreus all the more powerful, yeah, as it was used much more sparingly. And as a way to let the player know that Kratos was feeling vulnerable. What is another single word in media that could just command a room due to its strong delivery? I can think of a couple like Cap's quiet but powerful. Assemble. In Endgame, Ellie's okay at the end of Last of Us, or Snape's always. This was hard. It's a single word that's so dramatic that it can just kind of bring a room to silence, something like that. Like, I was really thinking hard about this question. You guys might have just not like even a sentence, like a word. There were some that, like, Braveheart. I mean, like, movie Braveheart, directed by Mel Gibson, starring Mel Gibson, written by Mel Gibson. And, like, his final line is, freedom! Like, that one. I would say that. When he's being fucking disemboweled. Publicly tortured and executed, and just, like, having a little shit ripped out of him. Like, I was going to end on before they cut his head off. Turtle. From Master of Disguise. that brings a room to silence. I mean, not turtle enough for the Turtle Club? Of course. Doe? That's iconic. It's an iconic one. True. That's a good one. Pepperidge Farm, remembers. Boy, Lo, I do like the way he called his dome. Oh, yeah, sure. August, thank you for the 100 Britties. Thank you for them Britties and those biddies, August. Appreciate that. Thank you. Burrito, good to see you, Burrito. Hope you're having a nice night. We're just doing classic Lastcast right now, just reading some questions. Going to be jumping into Horizon Forbidden West in just a bit. Got that all prepped. Very excited about it. But yeah, I thought of Darth Vader, no. Yeah, that'll bring a room to silence. It's true. I tried to think of lines that were like, whoa, it was really good. It was really powerful. It's a single line delivery. Not even single line. Excuse me. A single word delivery. I keep saying line. But single word. Freedom from Braveheart. And I said groovy. But it's not even one that, like, it brings a room to a halt. It's like, whoa, it's so dramatic. But it's like an iconic word. Groovy from, like Ash Williams from Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness and the series and things in the games. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good one. That's a good one, Singer Rack. You nailed it. Cut. Yes. That's a perfect example of one. Very good. Brio, do I plan to revisit Cyberpunk with a new next-gen upgrade? I will revisit it once they release, like, DLC content, like expansions. I'll revisit it with the update, but until then, no. No, I just, you want to watch my Cyberpunk gameplay, all of it's on my YouTube channel right now. It's like 23 episodes, so go and check it out. Edited by Alex Bernal. Dad, Chicken Wayne, Isaac Stevenson, good to see you. Chris, do I have time to throw a question? Who are busy this week? But no, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Feel free. I just finished up Vanny's question. You guys had some better answers than I did. Spoon's a good one. I saw him a lightsaber. I love that we went from, like, words to just sound effects. Oh, my God. I have not seen the new Texas Chainsaw from Netflix. We were talking about it earlier for people who had seen. They did not like it. It's not getting good reviews. Seems to be another disappointing Texas Chainsaw sequel / remake / reboot. Fart. Oh, of course, Nia Brownie's iconic. Of course, fart. Try saying COVID in a crowd room and see everyone stop. Oh, is that? Yeah. COVID. Oh. Forgot where the fucking... I was like I was going to drink my coffee without the little slot. Hold on, Chad. Let me try that again. 5 out of 10 on IMDb. Wilhelm scream? I guess that's more of like a sound effect, though. I mean, you recognize it. No! From Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Yes. You know what's funny? That line is so good. Like, if I have any... I think Rise... I really love Rise of the Planet of the Apes. But for whatever... I don't know if it was Rupert Wyatt, if it was his choice, or maybe the writer or the studio. But for whatever reason, they felt obligated to just put in lines from the original movie. Because right when right before Caesar says that, you have... Well, I actually like the actor. I forget his name, but Draco Malfoy. I hate to just say, like, Draco. He has that line where he's like, "Get your paws off me, you damn dirty ape." And I'm like, fucking, we didn't need that. And then Caesar goes, "No!" It would have been better if he just said, get your hand off me," or whatever. And Caesar said, no, it would have been more powerful. Tom Felton, thank you. It's wrong hole. Chad, if I had a nickel every time I heard that. I have a lot of nickels. I'd have a lot of nickels. Yeah, that was the one thing about that line is, again, it's Circus's delivery of it was great. It was like, oh my, it's a big, he's talking, and that was so cool. But I was like, that's my one big criticism of that movie is that they just felt like they had to force those lines in there. I even minded like the others, like, Caesar working on the Statue of Liberty Lego set. I was like, that's fine. Or, the Icarus we see going up, on the TV station and everything, and then getting lost. I was like, oh, that's cool. But like the lines, I was like, hey, you didn't need to do that. I guess, oh dear. Chris Harris came out later and said the studio, they made them, yeah, there you go. And with the sequels, they had enough clout, they could have, good. Yeah, I felt like a fucking studio decision. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, I wish, I hate to go back in and edit movies, but I wish they could go back in and take those out. It's too bad. Lisa's still here. Lisa's hanging out. And I believe Isaac sent a question. So what we're going to do is now we're going to I'm going to do this in order. Like I said, I'm going to do this in the order which I received them. So we're going to do Austinix questions. Now, thank you again, Vanny Vanispheres, for being a Juicy Games subscriber. Thank you for all your support. We're going to do Austinix question, Chad. I think he's got 2 for me. And then we're going to do Isaac Stevenson's question. And then we're going to play a little bit of that Horizon Forbidden West, which will be really, really, really fun. I'm very much looking forward to that, chat. I'm just looking at something, sir. Sorry. Make sure everything's good. All right, Austin's question, chat. Question 1. If you did get into playing D&D, what class and what race would you like to be? I have a couple of ideas. I was actually thinking about this recently, Austin. I'm actually glad you asked me this. So, with the Legend of Vox Machina chat out, which is an adaptation of Critical Role and their D&D campaigns, it's kind of made me reignited my interest in attempting to get into D&D. We talked about this on tonight's Discord discourse, which we lost most of, but I'll put up those first 20 minutes for you guys, and I'll edit it together for next week. Apologies again for that. Technology, Craig, it's betraying me, chat. But it did get me thinking, this past week after watching Vox Machina. It's like, what characters would I create, chat? And I feel like I have to create a character named Flubers, which, if you don't know, chat, Flubers is a name which I've used for several characters I've done for my streaming series. Most recently, chat, I've used the name Flubers for my Dark Souls streaming series on DT Gameplay, which I'll be finishing up that game pretty soon. Probably in the next 2 weeks, I'll be done with it, which will be nice because the Elden Ring is coming out and everything. And which I named, I created this mostly sword and shield character. Looks like Christina Hendricks, and I just named her Flubers. Flubers the Flubarian, or Flubers the Barbarian, whichever you prefer. And I feel like, okay, if I do that, I would like to have another character named Flubers, but I don't know if that's a proper name for a barbarian, And so I think, what race should have the name Flubers? And I figure, the race I would pick would be a goblin. This is Flubers the goblin, and Flubers, male or female, would be a rogue, chat. I feel like I have to do that. Witness me. Oh yeah, no barbarian could be Flubers. That's true. I love that. Vanispheres, witness me. Thank you so much for the very kind raid, Vanny. Welcome. I just got done answering all your questions, good sir. Just moving on Austinix right now, chat. Please do check out Vanispheres. Give that man some support. Follow, subscribe to him, donate to him. So good. Viper I've arrived to witness the Viper Fox. Welcome back to stream. Twitchy Rascals here. Look at all the good people we got here, chat. Christina Hendricks is a very sexy lady. She is. She's as I like to say, she's a cutie patootie. There's no doubt about that. Gnome. So I think I can name. So maybe we could do it this way. If I'm going to do a character named Flubers, I want them to either be a goblin or gnome rogue. I feel like that would be fun. And just because I want to say I just love the idea of having a character named Flubers. That's very amusing to me. Some other ones I thought of, chat. I would have another character. Her name would be Belnura Ironthick. And she would be a female dwarf barbarian. I feel like I want to do that. I want to be a dwarf character. I want to be just wielding a fucking, battle axe and shit, going in there and just messing up a whole bunch of enemy shit. So Belnura Ironthick would be my female dwarf barbarian. And then I was like, okay, so I got a rogue, maybe with a bow and arrow, maybe with knives and shit. Got that barbarian, very physical melee character. Gee, I wonder why Thick is in her name. Iron Thick. You love it, though. See, people liking it. It's fun. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you. I'll be reading your question right after Osnick's question. But then I was like, okay, so I got the, the melee character, sword or axe or whatever. I got the rogue character, goblin or gnome, okay. So we got to do a magic character. And so I would have a magic character named Jabro of Knee. That's because I always say jabroni. And so I would have a magic as be a wizard human who would be called Jabro, Ja-Bro, B-R-O, of, and then knee. No, it's great. It's great. No, it's funny. Jabro of Knee. Oh my God, I love that. Thank you. So I gotta do that too. I gotta do that. It's just like, and what I would do, it's just a wizard who's fucking full of himself. He's like, I've been around. I know how to fucking do this. Don't worry about it. Van is Fierce, thank you for giving a sub to Daryl McCoy. Thank you. Knee. Exactly. Knights of Knee. little reference to Monty Python Holy Grail. Exactly, like a warlock for comedy goals. I'll make him a warlock. Yeah, I would like Jabro of Knee. That's how it would have to be, Chad. It's like taking my little phrases that I often use in my streams. I think that'd be really fun. And so, yeah. Flubers, my goblin and or gnome rogue. Jabro of Knee, my warlock human. And Balnura Ironthick, my female dwarf barbarian. Those are the characters. If I had to create it'd be one of those three characters, Chad. If I ever do a D&D campaign, maybe on stream or something like that, I think that could be really, really fun. I'd have you guys vote. On what you would want my first character to be in like a D&D stream. You have those options, Chad. You have those options. What would you think of Juicy as Iron Man? I would not make a good Iron Man. I would be very bad. I would be we have rumors that Tom Cruise is going to be the superior Iron Man. I would be the inferior Iron Man. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I fucked up a lot. I got the drunkenness. I have the vice of alcohol, Chad. Tony Stark and I have that in common. You know what my Iron Man movie would be? It would be an actual episode. It would actually be an adaptation of Demon in the Bottle. That's what it would be. Make Iron Thick a monk. I guess we do that. I just thought like barbarian that would be right. I want to hear we like a battle axe and shit. That's kind of my thing. Yeah. Oh no, thief. I guess goblin. I guess my goblin or gnome could be. Flubers could be like a rogue or a thief. I think that'd be kind of fun. We can work it out. We can work out the subclasses and shit. I think that'd be interesting. These are the three I came up with. I was thinking I already had like Balnura and Flubers, and I was thinking like, all right, who else would I want to do a magic character? And I just thought, Jabroni. Excuse me, Jabro of Knee, if you will. Jason, thank you for the 10 biddies. Absolute pleasure to have you here. Hope you're doing very well. Thank you for this. The music's good. My heart's a pitter-pattering. Oh, my God. And Jim, yeah, I want to give it more thought. I want to, if I do D&D content, I really have to plan that out and see how it would be. And if I need additional cameras and if you need to see something like my character sheet or whatever, like that, I'd have to like look into how to do that properly. But it's something I've been thinking. It's something I've been thinking about. I know a lot of you guys are excited. And people you message me about that, and it's like it's a really cool idea. I just want to make sure that if we do it, I want to do it right, make it interesting for you guys visually. So, couple ideas, Chad. Couple ideas. But excellent question though, Austin. What about you guys? Actually, I'm gonna throw it to you. What if you had to create something in Dungeons and Dragons, Chad? What would be your character? What would be your race and your class? You know, do you ever get any thought? And I would be inferior Iron Man. Someone please do a fan art of that. It would not be good. I would not be a good Iron Man. I'd be a worse Iron Man than Tony Stark. I would learn to be a dungeon master for a campaign feature. That would be fun. Maybe I also think about being a dungeon master too. Like really getting nitty-gritty details and coming up with like a fun campaign. I have played a little bit of the Original Sin. I want to play that on stream though. Definitely, Jeff. Jabro of Knee, human noble wizard. Yes. Or warlock. I'm a warlock. Guess maybe a witch or a fae. Ooh, I love that. A sassy black reception gives magical Necro advice. I'm sure that's a racing class in Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah, that's a sorceress, I think. Oh, that's perfect. Master in D&D is Genasi. A Genasi. Now you're throwing out the language that I don't know. A Genasi fire sorcerer. A fire sorcerer. Gotcha. Thunderweeda dwarf. Thunderweeda. I like it. So a monk. Is that what a monk is? You can be a knight, Chris. Sure. Well, like a barbarian. I don't know. I guess you can be like a cleric. Is that what like a knight is? There's all these sorts of subclasses and shit. I don't know too much, so I got to get into it, chap. Get out. Baby GG, speaking of face. Does anyone remember Carnival Row on Amazon? Yes. Yes, I do. I haven't, I only watched a little bit of it, though. If you're a man in the Illuminati, yeah. Oh, that'd be cool. I'd be like, hey, guys, I have an idea. It's like, shut up. It's like that episode in Rick and Morty where it's the first time we actually really interact. The first time or it's one of the times where we first interact with the Council of Ricks, and they bring in that derpy fucking Rick who eats his own poop. I'd be like that. I'd be that Iron Man. I'd be derpy Tony Stark. Shut up, derpy Tony. It's like, oh, drink your drink. Oh. I'd just be any class that lets me take. I think it's like kind of barbarian though. Isn't that isn't a barbarian and cleric? I could be wrong. I feel like barbarian's pretty tanky. I think like cleric is pretty tanky too. So yeah, it's great. Nice. I've seen some butterfly fairy wings online. It gives me what? Hell yeah. Yeah, it's the fake characters. Right. We need, Chris. We need porn parody group viewings. Oh, absolutely. 100%. I gotta do my scene by scene breakdowns of porn. Very true. Make me a D&D version of the Wolverine. Wait, never mind. That would be a terrible life. I mean, yeah. Never was. It's like Wolverine's like, I guess he's cool powers, but every time you go snicked, and they shoot out and it hurts. It's true. And everyone you love dies around you, which is not great. Actually pretty far. I'm still trying to find out when season 2 is coming. Nice. When I was my parents let me get a D&D book. I was like 6 and thought it was a real spell book. Oh, that's adorable. No, the thing is, like, those books, like, they have really great artwork and things. So it's like, I know it's all filled with rules and things, but they have history of the races and scenarios. And so, yeah, I've always, back in the day, because I remember the D&D stuff was always next to the graphic novel section. And I would occasionally, like, go over there and just look at the pictures. I was like, these pictures are pretty. I like that. I always like the artwork in D&D. Barbarian, Cleric, and Paladin. That's what you should be, Chris Ayers. You should be a paladin. Our tanks. I want my character to always get himself into fights. He'd be like Grog from Vox Machina. And the Critical Role, Keyless almost is tanky. Oh, really, Grog? Well, I mean, she's got like control of all the elements and stuff you were talking about. It's pretty cool. Very, very cool. You see, I meet you at the Dallas live show. Oh, wait. Oh, August. I'm so, yes. Oh, that's right. No, man. It was so nice meeting you. Thank you. Oh, I love it though. Inferior Iron Man, definitely. She turns into elementals. Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Like the representations of all the elements and things. Very nice. No, August, it was an absolute pleasure meeting you. It's just that kind of thing where you meet so many people, you're going back and forth. So my apologies. So I'm just playing. God damn it! You were just messing with me? All right, you're being a bully. Because I'm meeting so many people, and I'm getting so many names. So doesn't mean you things there, Chris, say to me. Nah, it would be an absolute pleasure to meet you in person. I mean, I don't know about all the farting that you're going to do, but, I'll tolerate it. I'll tolerate it in your gassiness. God damn it, you guys are mean. You guys are really mean. Oh, my Lord. I opened myself up to you like 10 minutes ago, and this is what it is. What do you mean, get out? You get out. And take your farts with you. Oh, my God. All right. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't there a D&D movie with the actor that plays Alfred in these? Yeah. Jeremy Irons. I've reviewed that. That was one of my first reviews. That was like my first 7, I want to say. And it's awful. I was gaslighting. I was gaslighting 100% Kaz Faye. Jesus Christ. I get enough of the gas from Naya. I got it from you. Oh my God, August. Come on now. Yeah, no, that is that one we gotta do a watch party for someday. It must be free on some streaming service. But that was one of the first reviews I did, and it is absolutely hilarious. Very, very funny. Not a great representation of Dungeons & Dragons, I would say. I don't think D&D fans would say that either. Cleric's a D&D game that has 2 lazy clerics that work in a rundown spells and charm store. Ah, I have to make Lino for your game. That's right, because they have all different. They have so many different races. I'm like, I don't know what they got. Fishman. They got furries. It's crazy. Don't you gaslight me. You're doing that on your own. Jason, I saw Uncharted last night. I really didn't like it. He gave it a low. Right, I'm not surprised. Seemed to be kind of the consensus across the board. I might check it out. I might check it out this week and give you guys a review. Maybe on Friday. I might do that. Maybe a Sasha reception that was killed first. I did do that. Cassie. Now Cass face farting. Oh, no. It's spreading. Look what you did, Naya. Oh, no. Oh, God. Maybe, gee, that one girl was super gorgeous, though. I forgot her name. Which girl? In what? in Dungeons and Dragons. No, she was cute. She was cute. Yeah. Should you do a scene-by-scene review for Maze and Monster? Oh, is that another D&D adaptation? Make a D&D character really depends on what kind of campaign. I guess it does, because you can do a joke character and they can just die horrifically. Yeah, usually she's still lurking. Lisa was mad at me. Oh, Chloe, you're talking about Chloe Frazier. Sure. No, Chloe Frazier, she's a cutie patootie. But moving on from this, let me imagine you'll see some guys. Oh, man. What would you like to see? We're moving on. What would you like to see in the second season of Peacemaker? Obviously, just the continuation, which we just did our watch party for Peacemaker episode 8 this past Thursday, chat. Loved it. Loved the finale. I know that some Snyder fans are really bent over the fact that James Gunn's having fun. And I guess he just did something that was infinitely better than anything Zack Snyder ever fucking contributed to the DC cinematic universe. But whatever. I love the finale. I thought it was great. I want to see the continuation of these characters and how the relationships change of each other. Peacemaker dealing with, his guilt over, what happened with his father, and how he's carrying that with him, and how that's going to be used in the series. Obviously, I want to get into too many spoiler details for those that have not seen it, but I really liked it. World's smallest violin, indeed, Kazfe. But yeah, outside of that, what was kind of fun about this show too is that James Gunn was mentioning, it was telling, not showing, but it was mentioning like all these other characters that already apparently are operating in the DC universe. And again, it could just be like, hey, it's a throwaway joke, like, Green Arrow's a brony, which I thought, oh, it's pretty funny. I really like that. Thank you, Disney Not 10 Minutes. Your tweet made me relieved. Ads popping up. Your tweet made me relieved because I had many of those feelings. In regards to, yeah, I thought it was a little ridiculous. Trailers, thank you for sending me that link. I'm going to add that to my Word doc. I'm going to check that out later. Mazes and Monsters. Oh, this looks interesting. 92 American made-for-television drama film. I'm going to check this out. Movie star, 26-year-old Tom Hanks' is first leading role in a film? Wow! Oh, that's fucking Tom Hanks! Oh, wow. Tom Hanks and Rona Yaffe's Mazes and Monsters. I'll check that. Oh, fuck yeah. No, thank you for sending that my way. Very cool, very cool. August, thank you for the bidding. I just want more Eagly walk. Yes, Eagly walking around is adorable. That little fucking waddle. I love his little waddle, chat. Super adorable. See, the male Green Arrow really goes to BronyCons. Oh, so that's what they were referencing. Oh, that's hilarious. I had no idea. No idea. Oh, is that her, Zoe McCollum? Yeah, she's pretty. Cutie patootie. Very nice. But no, yeah, because we heard references to all these other characters in Peacemaker. Again, it was just dialogue. They didn't actually show them or anything. But it'd be really cool. I fucking love it. If Green Arrow showed up, he's like, hey, I don't, I like Brony. There's nothing wrong with that. I like My Little Pony. A lot of male fans of My Little Pony. But no, I would like it if they started to incorporate more characters from the DC universe, like the D-listers. I love one of the aspects I love about the Suicide Squad in general, not just like the previous film, which I thought was great. But I love how in the Suicide Squad, you get all these B and D and just F and Z list characters that end up on the team and just die, or maybe they survive for however long they do. And I really like that. And so, John Cena, he mentioned Kite Man. I would love to see a live-action version of Kite Man. I thought we've gotten an excellent version. The Harley Quinn animated series, I love that. It's like, hell yeah, it's so good. If they want to do a live-action version of that character, or maybe like a spin on it, I'd all be for that. People want Condiment King. Obviously, Condiment King, creating the Batman animated series. He's infamous and funny and over the top, and why not? Maybe as a one-off gag, maybe get him killed, or maybe you can make us care about Condiment King the same way you made us care about Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad. I think that'd be cool. Matter Eater Lad. I think people want Matter Eater Lad since, John Cena knows, or the Peacemaker character knows him, apparently. And kind of get more serious, but I feel like you can do some really interesting things with them. Animal Man. You know, he's just this guy who is able to use, like, take on the abilities of various animals. But, you know, it's like, okay, simple concept, all right. However, you've had these, like, really dark interpretations of the characters, that character and his supporting characters over the years. Most notably with Grant Morrison's run on Animal Man, which was, you know, very dark. And also kind of like a deconstructive superhero story. So if you want to kind of bring that into that, I think that would be perfect for, like, you know, a James Gunn adaptation. I would love James Gunn adapting Animal Man. I think that'd be fascinating. Jason, thank you, Timmy's Condiment King gets crushed like Polka Dot Man and ketchup and mustard. That's what you do, man. Yeah, all the condiments. All the condiments and mayonnaise and relish and all that shit. Hot sauce, hell yeah. So, Animal Man has had some crazy stories. Exactly, that's why I want to use him. Because, you know, James Gunn, he loves indulging in the weird and the crazy, and he makes it accessible for people while still being weird. Never like sanitizing it, which I really appreciate. We did that for Guardians, he did that for the Suicide Squad, and he's, you know, did that for Peacemaker. And so I feel like if he wants to bring in like a dark character like Animal Man, but also have fun with it the same way that Grant Morrison had, and also Jeff Lemire, he's another comic book writer, and he had this arc on Animal Man that I read. This is back when they did the New 52. Animal Man was like one of the best. Like, you had several comics that were going on at that time, and eventually New 52 got all fucked up. But Animal Man was one of the best ones by Jeff Lemire. And if they want to incorporate some of that or some of the original stuff, I'd be really okay with that. I think that'd be cool. And I doubt this will ever happen, but Peacemaker feels like it could definitely take place in the same world as Doom Patrol, which is another, you know, I mean, the show's going on. It has its third season out right now, and I'm sure they're going to do a fourth season, and it's great. You got Brendan Fraser and Timothy Dalton in that. It's the whole cast. There's just everyone just does such a great job, and the character's so well written. And it's very fucking weird. It's very much in that James Gunn style. I'm almost shocked that he's not involved in any capacity. But if they ever want to do a crossover, I felt like that would be like one of the more natural choices to go. Something that's already established, but you can easily see it crossing over with Peacemaker. And we know that with the Flash movie coming out, that's going to be much in the same way that X-Men Days of Future Past was for the X-Men franchise. It's going to be a reset, a soft reboot. We're going to take what we want. We're going to get rid of the rest of what we want, maybe consolidate. So I wouldn't be shocked if they, you know, bring all these things together. I mean, clearly they are. If Michael Keaton's Batman is joining the DCEU, so I think that might happen. And so I would not mind if Doom Patrol's in an episode, or they refer to them, or they get involved. And that would be a natural fit. Like, you know, just because the show has that crassness where, you know, Brendan Fraser's Robot Man, who's literally just a human brain inside this really derpy and clunky robot body, is just saying, fuck me, like, all the time. I was like, that would be a perfect and natural fit for a Peacemaker series. And let's have a back and forth between Peacemaker and Robot Man. I think that'd be great. So you see, get on it, baby. You guys will really like, if you like, I'll tell you right now, if you really like Peacemaker, as much as I did, really encourage you to check out Doom Patrol. I've done a couple of episode reviews. I think I've done maybe one. I've done either one or two. And the series is great. It's weird, it's over the top, but it's solely, you know, focused on these characters and giving them so much depth. And they're just a messed up family, and they're trying their best and trying to get through all the dysfunction, but there's a little bit, again, it's that wholesomeness to it, which I really appreciate. So if you like Peacemaker, do yourself a favor and check out Doom Patrol. Will do. Nice Maryland Adventure. Very good. Yeah, Brendan Fraser, he kills it. I know Brendan Fraser, he does the voice because it's weird because his character, they do a lot of flashbacks where it is Brendan Fraser, who is this kind of washed up NASCAR racer that, like, you know, was in this horrible accident like in the 80s, and he was saved by Timothy Dalton. Well, events led to him having his brain placed in a robot body, but they do flashbacks and they do episodes where it is Brendan Fraser, you know, but it's mostly his voice, and they have like a guy playing the, you know, the physical role of Robot Man. But he does a great job. Does a great job. Been watching Cuphead today. I'm gonna try to watch that before I head to bed tonight. Very, very excited. Very, very excited. King Eldener. I just started watching that. It reminds me of Umbrella. Oh, definitely. No, the Umbrella Academy and Doom Patrol, very similar premises. I can totally see that. Miss the Hyper Juicy. Can you do it for me again for the fans? The hype, the juicy hype. Maybe we'll get some more hype later on. Sure. Don't really love Peacemaker. I got on. Yeah. Baby Obama. Good to have you here, man. Welcome. More people talked about Doom Patrol. It's good, but then I get reminded that most of the people overseas that would watch it don't have HBO. Oh, yeah, I know. I guess that's weird. Yeah, it is the only way to watch it right now. unless you do it through some other means. But it's a great show. I recommend checking it out. That's right. Yeah, Brendan Fraser's going to be in that new Martin Scorsese movie. Good for him. I mean, he's having a bit of a career renaissance. He's also going to be Firefly in the Batgirl movie. So he's going to play multiple characters in the DC universe. So, yeah, good for him. Just to see what a Firefly would be like. You know, I always forget. Firefly's part of Batman's Rogues. He's this crazed arsonist who burns over like 90% of his body. So I'm there to see how that's gonna play out. But then that's wrapping up. Like I said, I just more delving into Peacemaker's, psychology, his relationship with these characters, and more of these D-listers, man. Let's get Kite Man, let's get Condiment King, let's get Matter, let's get Animal Man, let's get Doom Patrol, all of that. I'm open for it. Let's have fun. The series, it had a wonderful balance of tone. It could be serious, it could be irreverent, and it was a huge celebration of the weirdness of DC. Again, for me, James Gunn understands, unlike some people, that DC is a rainbow. It is filled with all different types of characters and tones and aesthetics. You can have your space opera with Green Lantern. You can have your dark and dirty crime noir with Batman. Or you can have something that's super fun and irreverent like a Suicide Squad. So, I love that. Zack Snyder, yes. Indeed. Yeah. I loved it too when Justice League shows him, Jupiter Aquaman said, fuck you. I thought that was funny. And some people were getting mad. I'm like, all right, well. Okay. I thought it was great. But some people didn't like it. Oh. But we're going to move on to the last question. And this is from Dat Chickling. He just submitted this, so I didn't do any prep for these. So I'm just going to read them off the cuff. Give my honesty. Let me refresh this. Refresh this right now. I think it was something in the messages system. Let me see. Alex Stevenson. Okay. Hey, Chris, sorry this is coming late, but wanted to get this question since I missed last week. No problem. I recently played through a game called Hylix based on the amazing trailer for the... based on the amazing trailer for the game. It was like anything I'd seen animation-wise, even though it featured your typical JRPG gameplay. Would highly recommend checking out the trailer. You want to see some cool stop-motion animation? Sure, we'll check it out. Give us some context. Question is, do you have a certain game and aesthetic that will influence your decision to play the game, even if the game is something you normally play? Game mechanics, animation, music, theme. Well, let's go ahead and look at this trailer and see if I am as interested. And of course, you got Brad Pitt, white savior Brad Pitt, Jesus, helping out. Try to Ejiofor. Thank God. Literally. Let's go and take a look at this trailer, chat. And get a sense of what Dat Chicken Isaac Stevenson is referring to, is talking about. Okay, we're gonna do that. Gonna put this in right here. All right, hold on. Gonna make this nice and big. Boop. Okay, come on now. There we go. All right, let's check this out. So this is a trailer for, what is it called? Hylix. Let's watch it. I don't know what this is. I like it, man. Hylix. Okay. Very nice. Very, very different. I mean, we just don't see that kind of art style with the game. So already it just stands out among the crowd of video games. Certainly JRPGs. But you think of like a lot of JRPGs. They have certain aesthetics. When you think of, your mind always goes to like a Final Fantasy or a Persona or a Tales game. That's usually what I think of when I think of a JRPG. But like something like this, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, there have been games that have used like a lot of, turn-based combat. I mean, it's not just a part of JRPGs. It's in a lot of games. Like obviously with this one or something like, funny enough, I was talking about Gertz the other night about it. South Park, The Stick of Truth. That's turn-based as well. I give this a go. I'm going to add this to my list. I like this a lot. Very good recommendation, Isaac. Very good recommendation. But in terms of, going back to your question, do you have a certain gaming aesthetic that will influence your decision to play the game, even if the game isn't something that you normally play? Game mechanics, animation, music, theme. That's, it's just because when I think of games I usually would not play, it would be, like sports titles or things like that. Like realistic racing games. However, if they were to do like a racer and it would have like a sci-fi, maybe cyberpunk aesthetic, like, you know, synth music, like something like, what if I played like a game that had like a racing game that had like a score by John Carpenter or something, and I had that maybe like Blade Runner-esque kind of aesthetic to it. I love that. That'd be something like, oh shit, I'll check out that racing game, if you will. So there's certain things where, yeah, the music would play a role, and maybe the style of the game would play a role. If you kind of put that on top of a game I wouldn't be interested in at all. Maybe even a sports game. Like I'm never gonna play like, you know, Madden or any NHL game or any basketball game on. I'm just not into that. But if you were to go like really crazy with it, or you put like maybe a sci-fi aesthetic over on top of it, or a fantasy thing, and you change it up a lot, I think that could be like really fun for me. But you know, again, that would be for like a niche audience, and we don't often see that all the time. Maybe it's something for a smaller title. Yeah, like an F-Zero, exactly, like an F-Zero, which I wish Nintendo will never make another F-Zero game. They'll put like a track from F-Zero in Mario Kart, but I would love another F-Zero title. That would be so good. Mario Golf, like, yeah, no, that's the thing, but that's a good point. Like, a sports game that I would play are like the Mario sports games. Like, I love Mario Kart. I want to definitely play Mario Golf. That's fun. Back in the past, I played Mario 10. I heard that like the most recent Mario 10 wasn't that great, but that's, yeah, something about that changes up, and it's more exaggerated. I think the more exaggerated something is, like for those titles I wouldn't be interested in, like a sports game or racing game, the more I'm into it, you know, where the more realistic it is, the more kind of like boring I find it personally. And so that definitely plays a huge role. I think, yeah, Nintendo, you know, I've criticized Nintendo a lot. I like the way they approach their sports titles by having that Super Mario Bros. Twist that makes it fun. Definitely for me. Rocket League's another great, yeah, Rocket League's a great example. Rocket League, I think it's like soccer. It's soccer, except you're like a little kart race. You're going around. You use all these abilities and your booster, and you can go up and over around this giant dome, and you're just hit this giant ball into this net. That's another great example. Yeah, Rocket League. I played a number of I played some Rocket League on stream before. I don't know if I have any up on YouTube, but very fun. Very, very fun. Art style for me is the reason why I love Persona 5, because art style is so unique. Sure, Mario Striker's super fun. Mario's playing soccer, but you get to do all this crazy stuff. Yeah, exactly. It's just you know, it's that exaggerated Mario Bros way. You guys want to talk race? You just got talk to Trailblazers. Fair enough. Did you ever get the chance to play the F-Zero arcade game with the guy? No, at least I don't think so. At least I heard, maybe I did, but I don't remember. It's been so long, but I remember playing like, you know, those original F-Zero game. Loved it. River City Girls is a great beat 'em up RPG game you play on Switch. It has a cartoony comedic style. Play a couple of teenage girls who beat up everyone in their search for their boyfriends. That's funny. River City Girls. I'm gonna look that up. Look up that trailer. And then we'll wrap up that class in the glass, because that's another genre I'm not a fan. I'm not a big fan of beat 'em ups. I think just kind of like, I just feel simple and generic. But never completed Streets of Rage 4. Did that part 1 though. Let's check out this. Oh, this looks funny. River City Girls launch trailer. I'll check this out. Like what I'm seeing. Beat everyone to find their boyfriend, to get boyfriends. I like that. High recommend for River City. Let's check it out. We'll check it out, and then wrong screen. This is my Sonic Erotica screen. Then we're gonna move on to some Horizon Forbidden West. We'll play that for about like 2 hours tonight. Check that out. I haven't played it yet, so it'll be a little bit of a learning curve, relearning everything, but go ahead and River City Girls trailer. Oh, okay. This is like an OG trailer from back in the day. I'm trying to think. Oh, okay. Here we go. Sorry, chat. Sorry, I didn't know this. I thought that it just said launch trailer. I was like, okay. Here is a more recent, I guess for the more recent game. Very nice, Chef. Very nice. That's River City Girls Zero's latest game. It acts like an old SES. Okay, with style. The games are also very open. You have total freedom. Very Pocket Sam. You use Pocket Sam. Trevor for Riddle. Is this the latest one or one of the latest ones? All right, we'll check this out. And after this chat, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna play some Horizon. Play some Horizon, chat. So I guess this is a more recent one. I dig it, man. I dig it. No, thank you for letting me know about this. Very, very nice. I might, I'm not a beat 'em up guy, but there's some. You're right. It's the aesthetic. It's the comedy. It's the art style. Might convince me to check this out. I like it. I like what I'm seeing. Very nice. And thank you, Dash. I believe that's the question you sent, the trailer and that question. I believe that's it. Let me just go ahead and make absolutely sure. You know, I hate to miss anything. If I do miss anything, I'm always happy to make it up in the next classic. Yes! There you go. All right, y'all, I got to get going. Peace out, everyone. Y'all the shit. Love chilling with you guys. Mr. Simpson, sir, you are the man. Salute to you. My God, baby GDG, thank you so much for being here. Hope you enjoyed yourself, too. Thank you. We are now going to be moving on to the next part of this. Dad, chicken wing Isaac with those 500 minis. In the 80s. Thank you. Yes, that's it. Thank you. No, thank you, sir. Thank you for your incredible generosity. Be a subscriber. Everyone who submitted questions today. Thank you, Isaac. Thank you, Austin. Thank you, Vanny. And thank you, M. Xavier. Excellent questions. Very, very fun. All across the board. I gave you a variety. I gave you the thick, girthy, well-endowed, robust answers that they deserve, that you guys deserve. And now, my friends, we're going to be switching on over. We're going to be switching on over to some of that Horizon Forbidden West, which I've been so excited to play. I have not played it yet. I got it right here on the PlayStation, Shad. Ooh, and my new HD60S capture card. Let's get into it.